find ourselves in this crisis with an interesting conundrum. We're no longer in the past. We're no longer how things were. We're not certain about the future. And all we have is the now, which is an experience that different people are having in very different ways. So you might be feeling numb. You might be eating and drinking your house. You might be overdoing work or exercise. And the challenge is how to get to some semblance of normal, even if it's a new normal. So quite some time, if ever. Now, that experience of having a way that it was be comfortable and something that you were used to, and now that's gone, that can lead to anger, that can lead to sadness, that can lead to irritation, that can lead to you being upset, waiting for a place to happen or a person to happen to. Have you noticed yourself snapping at somebody? Have you noticed getting upset at a small thing? That's what that is. So we've got to process those emotions, talk to somebody about those emotions. It can be your spouse or your friend, but you got to get those things out, and you've got to be willing to forgive yourself for overreacting or underreacting or numbing out or acting out. And all of these things in the face of this crisis are very normal. It's hard to forgive ourselves for how things are and our reaction to them, but that's really what there is to do. If you don't, you get in trouble because you're not who you used to be. It's not how it used to be, and now there's confusion. And we all have coping mechanisms for confusion that are different, but they are coping mechanisms, and we are coming from fear and survival when we're using a coping mechanism, oftentimes. So let's talk about the future. The future is really unknown. Nobody knows, and it's changing daily. But it's important to have some sense of how you want that future to go. You don't want to be in fantasy land, but you want to have hope. You want to have intention. You want to have a dream. Now, full disclosure, I was profoundly affected by the crisis for 3 reasons. 1, my mother was not doing well with her health. 2, my son was not doing well with his health, and I was separated by about 350 miles from him. And 3, the world was on fire. And so that affected me a lot because I'm in the business of possibility. I'm in the business of guiding people to their vision of the future, and suddenly it was all up for grabs for the first time in my life. And so that affected me for about 2 weeks. And even over the last 10 days, I've noticed that I'm not myself. Even though I've come back a lot, I took a break from doing weightlifting, which I've been doing for the last 10 years. Just took a break, took a 10-day break. Put on 10 pounds, and I've got to forgive myself for that. I can't beat myself up for any reaction I have to what's happening. So back to lifting weights. I didn't stop exercising. I'm still eating healthy. And that brings me to what to focus on in the now. So my trainer, a guy named Ryan, used to say that there are 5 core things to focus on: sleep, stress, water, food, and exercise. So sleep, quality and quantity. Food, quality and quantity. Water, quality and quantity. Exercise, quality and quantity. And de-stress. All of these things are going to be new. Sometimes our appetites are suppressed in an event like this. Sometimes we find ourselves with more appetite. We're trying to, as a comedian used to say, eat our feelings. But it's important to pay attention to those 5 areas on a daily basis, but also to be willing to head and drink enough water, and it's okay. I didn't get enough sleep, and I'm going to take a nap later. But literally, I would encapsulate your day. I would have 24-hour airtight days, and have each day be a unique set of circumstances, a unique set of expectations. If you have expectations for the week and you don't really communicate them and then they don't get met, you are going to be in trouble. You are going to have problems. And I would just say that your expectations, lowering your expectations and bringing your expectations into 24-hour time periods is really what there is to do. Now, that's an odd thing coming from an executive coach. Lower my expectations. My job is to raise expectations. My job is to create a bold future with people and guide them to it. But in this day, in this time, with things switching so quickly and so much breaking down that we've got as normal and reliable, it really is important to raise and lower your expectations day to day. If you're feeling great and you feel like I can accomplish that, go ahead. And if you're not feeling great and you don't feel like you're going to accomplish much, do half a day of work, or take the day off, or clean up half the garage, or whatever your goal is. Just raise and lower it based on how you're feeling and how you're doing mentally, and how you're doing in your environment. So this is the beginning of how to come back. I wanted to give you some basics that you could use right away, and I hope that they do have value for you. Take care.